Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 297 of our BU 365-day challenge. Do one thing every day that improves us in some way. Today, we are going to think about what is our biggest challenge. What is something that is niggling at or irritating us, or something that we've wanted to change for a while, but we just haven't done anything about? Because we are going to, this week, apply the SOAP framework to that thing. Now, I brainstormed a couple of things. I thought about, okay, well, what are some things that I want to change, but I've been either too slow or procrastinating or just not doing it, or making excuses for why I haven't made an improvement in a certain area or decided to focus and work on an area. And we can look at the different areas and aspects of our life. We've done this already, but it doesn't mean because we did it once in that area and aspect of our life that that area is moving along as quickly as we want. I think a couple weeks ago we said, okay, where are we? I think beginning of this month we rated on a scale of 1 to 10 how we feel about each of those areas, and then we prioritize them as well. So if you're having a hard time saying, okay, what do I want to soap? What's my biggest challenge? Just think about, and it doesn't have to be hard. It's usually the first thing that pops into our mind. So I brainstormed a couple yesterday because I'm like, all right, I like to have a few things to pick from as I'm going to apply the SOAP framework. And the truth is, I will apply the SOAP framework to all of them, but I want to pick one to do for demonstration purposes over the next few days so that we can actually really hone in on and make sure that we're installing the SOAP framework in our subconscious. We have to have a process and tools to make our life easier, to make especially dealing with changes and challenges easier. We learned as we were talking about paradoxes, change is inevitable, right? Change is as inevitable as death, right? We're all going to die someday. Well, everything's going to change around us all the time. It just always does. And so instead of resisting it and pushing against it and thinking that it's bad, excuse my throat today, we need to find ways to embrace what is instead of trying to avoid or resist what is. And if change is going to happen all the time, how are we going to be the best equipped person that we can be when it comes to handling change? And I have found that having a process or a framework or a way of dealing with things is the best way to do that. Now, will our framework change over time? Will our process change over time? Maybe. I've been using this same 4-step process since I learned how to solve problems and how to deal with things. I just started calling it the SOAP framework in 2020 with the pandemic and all the craziness, because I needed a way to really hone in and make sure I was applying it every time something crazy or absurd came along, so that I could deal with it in the best way possible for me and then those I love and care about, because I wanted to make sure I was setting a good example for them. So some of the things I came up with were getting ready to travel. I've got about a month-long trip coming up, and I have not even thought about it. I'm going to my nephew's wedding as part of that, and probably going to be gone about a month, but I have done nothing to prepare for this trip. And that means I need to prepare how am I going to continue to show up every day? What am I going to take? Da-da-da-da-da. Where are we going to go? And all those things. So I could soap that. I could soap up adding an additional stream of income. I could soap up, I've got a new course and a new software program that I'm learning, and I think that might be what I do, is apply the SOAP framework to that, because how can I quickly, easily, and efficiently put that in place and figure out what I need to figure out and start using and operating with that ASAP. And one of the best ways to do that is to apply the SOAP framework. So as I was thinking about it this morning, I'm thinking that's the thing I'm going to do. This new software implementation, I think that's going to be what I soap up. Why? Because it's not my biggest challenge right now. It's not the area of my life that needs the most attention. It's just one that popped into my mind this morning as, all right, I want to do this. I want to do this as soon as possible, because it's like a big domino effect. Or when you knock down something big and deal with something that's niggling or in the back of your mind taking up a lot of time and energy, when you knock that out, even if it's a little thing, maybe you had an argument with a friend or something, or you said something harsh to one of your kids or somebody you love and care about, and that's going to nag away at us in the back of our mind until we make that relationship, that situation right. So this is kind of one of those things. So your biggest challenge, an area of your life that you want to improve, something that's just been bothering you that you want to address, let's apply the SOAP framework to it this week. Our action item today is just to share in the comments below one thing that you're going to work on and apply the SOAP framework to this week. So maybe it's one of these areas and aspects of your life: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, contribution, communication, and confidence. Or maybe it's like me, hey, I got this new program, I've got this course I need to get done, along with all the other things I need to get done. I got to get ready for this trip. What's the thing I need to spend my time on this week? Soaping. I can probably soap the software this week and soap the trip next week, but that's cutting it kind of close, so we'll see. All right, any questions, hit me up. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow, and we are going to hop right into the S of our soap framework and make sure that we've got this process so it's just second nature to us. We don't even have to think about it because it's in our subconscious, and as soon as a change or challenge comes our way, boom, our subconscious just starts working it through the soap framework or the process. And I think we've talked about this before. We've already got a process, but maybe it's not the best process for us. Sometimes, and in the past, I know I did this, it was ignore the problem until it goes away or resolves itself, procrastinate and wait to the very last minute to have to deal with some situation, things like that. And those work. Something's always going to work itself out because things are always changing. But did I get the best resolution for me, the best solution for me in those situations? If I look back, most of the time, not. Once in a while it worked out okay, but for the most part, if I avoided, procrastinated, didn't deal with something, it usually got worse before it got better. All right, have an awesome day, and I'll be with you tomorrow.